Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the Seagull Godin M4 Dulcimer. This is a 4-string dulcimer. There is a thick string, a thin string and 2 octave strings on the bottom strings. The 2 octave strings are always played together and give a sort of mandolin sound. Now the introductions are out of the way, let's get started. Some people tune this instrument D, A, D. That would be D, the string nearest your chin, A, the middle string, and D, the string nearest the floor. I don't, I tune it to G, the string nearest your chin, D, the middle string, and octave Gs, the string nearest the floor. And that's a G chord. So that's a G like that. So to play along with this video, you will need to be tuned G, D, G. So hopefully you're all tuned to G. Now that is a G chord, nothing on, no frets pressed with this hand, just open like that. For the start of this video, we will just be strumming down like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going through all the strings to a regular rhythm. So we were counting that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, like I said, this is a G chord. This hand is just supporting the neck, this is the neck, it's doing nothing else. And that's a G chord. To make it a more rounded G chord, we add our ring finger to the 2nd fret. This here is the nut, the one nearest the tuning pegs. This is the 1st, this is the 2nd. So we put our ring finger on the 2nd fret there, just behind it. If you get a sound, you're on the fret, move it back a little, and it should ring clearly. So with our finger in that position, you can hear the difference without the finger, with the finger, without the finger, with the finger. So we'll do 4 without, 4 with, 4 without, 4 with. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. We can also play G in another position. We can play G on the 2nd fret of the thick string there. Again, that's the nut, the one nearest the tuning pegs, 1st, 2nd. So we're putting our ring finger there this time, and we'll just strum down 4. Take it off again. Add it. Off. So, we'll go for that again. 4 without any finger on. We'll add it to the thick G string now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, add. Add. Off. Add. So now to a regular rhythm. 4 without any finger on, then add the finger. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you see a G written in a piece of music, you can do that one, you can play this one, or that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to do a run through them all, 4 without any finger on. The octave string, the thicker string. So again, none on. So now we'll play that to a regular rhythm. So it's 4 without any finger on, the bottom string 4, and then the top string 4, okay? After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, you can play G that way. 2nd fret of the octave strings, and then the lower G string, and any of them is valid when you see G written on a piece of music. There is another way to play G on a dulcimer. This is called an arpeggio. An arpeggio means a broken chord. That is a chord. A broken chord roughly means, so a chord is all at the same time, and arpeggio just means one note at a time. So the way we do this on this dulcimer is we go to the 2nd fret, we have the open string, we need the 2nd fret, and then a bit of a stretch to the 4th fret. So you've got open, 2nd, 4th. Open, 2nd, 4th. That would be open, 2nd, 4th. Open, 2nd, 4th. Again, open. I'm strumming through all the strings. 2nd, 4th. Open, 2nd, 4th. Open, 2nd, 4th. Now that we can play open, 2nd, 4th, we will finish this strum off. We go open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd. That's open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd. Open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd. That is open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd, to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to a strum. Open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd, open, to an up and down strum rhythm. That is just simply open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd, open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd. And that is a G arpeggio. So anytime you're playing a G chord, instead of just playing, you can play. now we've got that G, this G, the other G, and for that strum, I'm just simply going down 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we'll come to that later on in the video, but with just downstrokes. Due to the way this Merlin Dulcimer is tuned, what I've just shown you on the octave G, you can do on the thicker G string here. So this time it's open on the top string here, 2nd and 4th again. Open, 2nd, 4th. So if we're just strumming down, open, 2nd, 4th, back to 2nd. Open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd. That's open, 2nd, 4th, back to the 2nd. Open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd. Open, 2nd, 4th, 2nd. It's the same as we did on the octave G, it just gives a different sound, like this. That's on the octave G strings. On the thicker G string, I will now do a bit more rhythm to it and you get this sound. So now we've got that way of playing G, no fingers at all. There, there. And anytime you see a G chord, you can do anything you want that I've just shown you, and it adds a bit of variation to your strum rather than just strumming G all the time. And of course you can mix these up in the same pattern. You can do 2 on open, 2 on the 2nd. So you can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for a count of 4, the first 2 are open. Count 3 and 4 we'll put there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can do it 3 then 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or this G instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or mix it up. 2, 1 on the octave Gs, 1 on the low G. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we've got 3 or 4 G chords, we will mix them up a little bit. So we'll do 2 on the open, 2 on the high G strings, to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. This time they will go on the low G at the 2nd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course you can do everything in between. So 2 on the open, 1 on the low G, 1 on the high G. So that's open, the G chord at the 2nd fret of the low G, then 2nd fret of the high G. reverse. So anytime you see a G chord, you can really vary it up, and it makes it a bit more musically interesting for the listener. Due to the way this instrument is tuned and the fret spacing the way it is on this instrument, you cannot play a wrong note in the key of G. So that's a G chord. Whichever fret you put a finger on, you can't play a wrong note. Some notes sound better than others, but you won't be out of tune. So for this little exercise, we're going to use our first and second fingers, or first and ring. It might be easier. If you can stretch like that, that's fine. If you can't, use your ring. So we're using that note, and the open string. You can do it that way, or you can do it that way. The choice is yours. So we're going to go open, first, second, first, open. Open, first, second, first, open. Or this time we'll do open, 2, 3. Open string, second fret, third fret. Open, second, third, second. Or we can do all them 3. Open, first, second, third, second, first, open. So when you're playing a G chord, you can play whichever fret you want on the high G, the low G, even the D string with a G chord, and you won't be out of tune. Like I said previously, some notes sound better than others, but you won't be out of tune. So to practice this, just strum down like this. That's third, first, fourth, second, fourth, second, then third, first, third, first, third, first, and just play around. So just get that hand strumming down. And just play the notes. This time I'll do it on the low G. Second, first, open, fourth, second, third, first, open. So whatever you play, you will always be in tune in the key of G. To play a song, you at least need 2 chords. We've got G, and now we need a D chord. A D chord is the first finger on the first fret of the low G and your second finger on the first fret of the high G. So first finger, first fret of the low G, second finger, second fret of the high G. And that is a D chord. Off, D chord. So this time we're going to practice changing between the two. We'll just do it with the open string for the easiest. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your G chord. Add that first and second finger. So G. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. D. G. G, D, G, D, G, D. So the D chord is the first fret of the thick G string and the first fret of the high G, remembering to push both of them strings down. So open G, D, G, D, G, D, G, D, G, D. Now we'll pick the pace up a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, D, So now we have the G chord and the D chord. We need one more chord to play some songs. This is the C chord. It's the first fret. Remember, this is the nut, the one nearest the tuning pegs. The first fret of the D string and the third fret of the octave G strings. And that is your C chord. First fret of the D string, third fret of the octave Gs. So holding that in position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Again, first fret, remember this one there in the tuning pegs is the nut. First fret, the D string, third fret at the octave G strings, and that is your C chord. So now we've got 3 chords, let's play some 12-bar blues. So for this we'll just be strumming down 4 strums to the bar. I will write the chord progression down below. For each letter, just remember it's 4 strums. So in the 12-bar blues in G, we have 4 bars of G. For this, we'll just use no hands for the G chord. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. First bar. Second bar. Third bar. Fourth bar. 2 bars of C. First bar. Second bar, back to G. Another bar of G. 1 bar of D. 1 bar of C. 2 bars of G. Another bar of G. So now we've had a run through the 12-bar blues, we will do it again, this time without pausing in between. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G. First bar. Second bar. Third bar. Fourth bar, C. First bar. Second bar, back to G. D. C, G. Again, G, 4 bars. First, second, third, fourth to C. Back to G. D, C, back to G. Now we can strum through the 12-bar blues. We will add a bit more to the strumming pattern. Instead of going down all the time, we're now going to strum up. So it's the same 1, 2, 3, 4 for the downstrokes, but in the gap in between we're going to strum up, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So it's still the same rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4, but in the gaps in between the downstrokes we're going to strum upwards. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That would be to one letter. So again, the letters down below, each letter is now 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we will have a run through of the 12 bar blues this way, very slowly at first. 4 bars of G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... First bar. Second bar. Third bar. Fourth bar, 2 bars of C. Two bars of G. One bar of D. One bar of C. 2 bars of G. So we'll go for that again. 4 bars of G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and first. Second. Third. 2 bars of C. Back to G. One bar of D. One bar of C. 2 bars of G. So now we've had a slow walk through that 12 bar blues, let's play it this time with a bit more pace. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 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 C, back to G, D, C, back to G, again G, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, finish the 12 bar blues off when you've played your last G chord, D chord, and it just finishes the song off nicely. So now we've had a run through of the 12 bar blues, we can add a little bit more to the G chord rather than just strumming. We can do the arpeggio instead. The C chord, back to the arpeggio, D, C, G. So I'll run through that again very briefly. You remember the arpeggio? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's open, 2nd fret, 4th fret, back to 2nd. that would be 1 bar. So 1 bar in the 12 bar blues would be. Repeat again for the second. Repeat again for the third. Repeat again for the fourth. Go to a C chord. Back to G. Repeat G. D. C. G. So now we've had a run through that 12 bar blues, I will now show you it applied in song format without any gaps in between. So it will go something like this. You don't have to do the arpeggio if you don't want to. You can simply bounce off and on the second fret. Remember, this is the note first, second, like this. So you do G like that, add that G, off, add. So 1 bar will be. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the first 4 bars of the 12 bar blues will be. First bar, second bar, third bar. C will be played the same, just normal C chord, 2 bars, then back to G. So applying to the 12 bar blues, that would sound like this. There is one more thing we can add to the 12 bar blues to make it sound a bit more interesting for the listener, and this is on the D chord. The D chord is at the first fret, as you know. Remember, this is the nut, this is the first fret. So you would strum 1 and 2 and with your fingers there. You would slide it up to the second fret for the count of 3 and, then back to the first fret for 4 and. It will sound like this. So in the context of the 12-bar blues, it would sound something like this. As you can see, it just adds a bit more to the strum rather than just going. So it's just 1 and 2 and 4 and. Now let's talk about strums. For most of this video we've been strumming 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's either been 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But you don't have to do that, you can do any variation you wish. All that matters is you keep the pulse or the beat of the music going. So for this instance we're going to be on a G chord. We're going to be using that G chord. And we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So for the first bar, second bar. Now they both last the same length of time, we're just fitting an upstroke in the gaps in between the down strums. So with me, 1, 2, So you can vary the strums up in a song. All that matters is you keep a constant pattern, meaning you do all the verses the same way and all the choruses the same way. Don't start changing your strum for different verses. It just makes it easier for the listener to follow along. But we'll now move on to some more complicated strums. You don't have to do a bar of each, you can do half a bar. So in this case we'll do 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and G chord with the left hand. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 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 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. You don't have to split it evenly, you can do 3 down strokes and a down up. The other way around. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Or one of each. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. So basically, you just count to 4. There are other strums, I will come to them in other videos, but for now, we'll count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So experiment with strums. All you need to do is be able to count to 4 in regular time. Experiment so you can have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2 and 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3 and 4, or 1, that instance it was 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So really just practice around strumming, and by doing this you will hear various rhythms you've heard in songs. Well, I hope you found that video useful. This was just a beginner's guide and lesson to the Godin Seagull M4 Dulcimer. As you can see, it's a very small instrument that can easily be carried with you wherever you go, and does sound very loud for its small size. So until next time, take care, keep playing, and goodbye.